Good day, YouTube. Welcome to Bishop's Blast. I'm your host. I go by the name of Dr. Meebane, where we dive into what I consider a sanitized version of a YouTube channel when we talk about all things firearms related. Now, I'm not a subject matter expert by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just an old retired Navy guy who loves God and has quite the affinity for all things that go wrong. At this point in time, do me a real quick favor. Yeah, you know what I'm about to ask you. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. And I want to thank you for all of you that have already done this with me so that we can help chronicle my 2A journey. And since I'm already asking for favors off rip, that's right, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this with someone as we continue to go through and learn and meander through all of the things that I go through from my firearm related journey. I just want to thank you for doing this with me. So guess what? You're tuned in to another edition of Bishop's Blast. Go ahead, stay tuned. Let's get it in. Now, we're getting ready to go into what I would call my Plinking edition of Bishop's Blast, where we talk about doing something at the range that we call plinking. Now, just so I'll make sure that it is further defined, plinking refers to an informal target shooting done for leisure, typically not with standard targets. But plinking is just when we go to the range and it's not tactical. When we go to the range and we're not trying to break in another firearm. And we go to the range and we're just, honestly, trying to let off some steam and have a good time. That's when we go plinking. And when I go to the range plinking, sometimes it can get a little expensive. Ammo is still not cheap. So if I'm going out there and I'm plinking and I'm shooting 300 blackout, 5.56, 223, a 10 mil, 5.7, it can get quite expensive. So the one thing that I've learned to do is take low rate ammunition and utilize that for my plinking, my leisure, my fun objective of going to the range, and sometimes some good practice too. So I just want to be able to share some of that with you when it comes down to plinking and show you some of the ones that I go to the range with that I do a little plinking with. Now, the one that I'm going to go through first, to be honest with you, it's kind of in pieces, only because number one, it had some other pieces to it that I took off. I'm trying to change the grip to it as well, and it actually had something that I used an arm brace for it, and I didn't want to go back and forth when they were going with the ATF. Can we have the arm braces? Can we not have the arm braces on it? I'm one of those people that I err on the side of caution, and if I don't really know, I just take it off. However, I am elated that I think that we're winning that 2A war. Now, when it comes down to it, I want to share with you first this thing. This is called the Ruger Charger. The Ruger Charger. That's right, the Ruger Charger. It is clear, safe direction, and shoot. This is the Ruger Charger, and it is chambered in 22 long rifle, the Ruger Charger. I really have a time shooting this firearm. I actually had something else that came with it that was on board. I had this breacher tool that went to it. This is not a muzzle hider. It's not something that's going to dampen the effect when it comes down to firing this. I think a breacher tool is actually used for when you're trying to get into some place and you're utilizing it to actually break through. But this breacher tool was actually on this Ruger Charger when I purchased it. I purchased it some years ago. The Ruger Charger, it is a plinker. It came basically this way. The only thing that I did add to it was I added the iron sights to it. At some time I thought I was going to put an optic on it. Not sure. Maybe as I change out some of my old ones and try to upgrade some of my optics, maybe I'll throw one on here just for fun. But this is also known sometimes to some people as a backpack gun. So even with the arm brace on it, you can fold the arm brace, and this is small enough that you can still fit into a backpack. Now, just a little FYI, it falls into one of those categories, specifically in the state of Maryland, where I had to register it just like I do any other handgun, because it's not a long gun, and it's not a shotgun or a rifle or qualified for the length of the barrel. So I had to register it as a handgun, but this is what some people will call a backpack gun. Why would you use a backpack gun? I don't know. I'm not that much of an outdoorsman, but if I was, some people might use this to scare off small varmint, if you will. Get some rabbits or some raccoons or something that's out there. But this is something that can be done. It's a great plinker. It's something good to have fun with because it really doesn't make much of a sound, i.e. the plink sound, and the fact that you don't have that much a recoil or muzzle flip utilizing something like this. I really enjoy shooting this, and once again, it is shot utilizing 22 long rifle. So this is something that I really enjoyed shooting. I will be honest with you, this is one of the ones firearms that when I start shooting this 22 LR, some people have issues with 22 long rifle. This is one of the ones that made me question it also initially, because probably the first 100 rounds, 200 rounds, I had some stovepipes, I had some failure to eject utilizing this. But after taking it back home, breaking it apart, cleaning it, and running more rounds through it, after that I had no more problems with this. And also maybe I was using other rounds. I don't think I was using the CCI. I was utilizing some other rounds, but with the CCI it seems to be working pretty well. So if anybody ever thought about getting a backpack gun or just something to go out, I think the MSRP on this when I got it was like $300, so it's probably cheaper than that now. This is not bad to go out and plinking with. This is the Ruger Charger, utilizing 22 long rifle. Fun time at the range. Now, this next one, I didn't necessarily was purchasing it to be a plinker until I actually took it out to the range the first time to shoot it, and I said, yeah, that's pretty much where it's gonna live and die with me. I got it because of the form of the platform that it looked like, and it was this Smith & Wesson M&P 1522. This is a Smith & Wesson M&P 1522, and this is also chambered in 22 long rifle. I honestly purchased it because I was interested in the AR-15 platform, and I wanted something in that vein. Also, just like the Ruger Charger, it was something that, once again, the sound was dampened, and when it came down to recoil, it seemed to be minimal, no recoil to me from shooting it, and I had a blast. This is one of those things that you take to the range, and before you know it, you've got 800 rounds through it, and you're still having a good time. You're not tired from it. Your hands are not hurting from firing this, but you're really having a good time doing this. When I got it, it also came with a 10-round mag, and it came with this 30-round mag. And this is Smith & Wesson's M&P 1522. With the rail on the top. It did not come with an optic. It did not come with these iron sights that I put on here. This optic is a cheap optic. I also put a foregrip on here, to be honest with you, but I don't even really utilize it when I shoot. But I really enjoy this, and this different from the Ruger Charger. From taking it out the box and immediately going straight to the range to go shoot this. I've never ever had any issues with this firearm whatsoever. See, clear, safe direction, and shoot. This is the Smith & Wesson M&P chambered in 22 long rifle, and this is something that you will have a blast shooting at the range. It's a good time. The little stock is adjustable to this. You can work on accuracy. For anybody who is interested, or if you already have other AR-15s and you're trying to get other people familiar with the platform, but you don't want to scare them away, why not go ahead and copy the Smith & Wesson 1522. a chambered in 22 long rifle, you'll have a good time going out there plinking with this. Now, last and not least is something that I think I've already pulled out one time before, but I want to pull it out for this one because it's something that I generally use when I take someone out, and I'm not an instructor, but I am somebody that when I like something and I want to share the thing that I like with somebody, I do that. So when I take somebody out who's never ever shot a pistol before, I usually start with this firearm. Male, female, it doesn't really matter. Especially if I realize that they might have some presuppositions as it pertains to, is it going to fire away? Is it going to, if I feel like that they have any kind of proclivities or idiosyncrasies as it pertains to shooting a firearm and thinking it's going to hurt them, I usually start with this. And this is none other than Taurus's TX22. That's right. It's Taurus's TX22. Chambered in 22 long rifle. Taurus's TX22. Clear, safe direction, and shoot. This is Taurus's TX22. I really, really, really enjoy this firearm. It's something that, once again, if you're dealing with someone that may have, some issues, or if there's any fears of a firearm, especially when it comes down to the sound or when it comes down to the recoil, because there's literally no muzzle flip when it comes down to shooting this firearm. I think when I took both my daughters out, first time I took them out with this for them to be able to shoot this firearm, and they had a blast doing so. At least they told me they had a good time doing so. And this is something that, the one thing that kind of threw me off with the Taurus TX22, and a lot of my firearms are polymer frame striker fire pistols, polymer being plastic. This is like plastic. This is almost gotta be one of the lightest firearms that I have. But this is something that it almost feels toy-ish. It's not a toy, it's not a game, but it's something that you can go to the range and plink with and have a good time. Front back cocking serrations. I love the trigger guard. It's big enough that if you were taking somebody outside, and when you were taking them outside and you had gloves on, you still can fit your finger through the trigger guard with that. The trigger on this, it's a decent take up. The wall is pretty much all the way to the back. It's a clear definable wall. The reset is tactile, somewhat audible, but there is some travel that comes with this. But it's pretty good. The sights on it are okay. Front back, a 3-dot sight system. I really have a good time with this. As a matter of fact, this is something that I've been kind of promoting, whether it be the TX22. I'm be the first person to tell you I'm not one of those brand loyalists at the moment. Nobody pays me to do what I'm doing. This because I'm having a blast doing it. So nobody pays me. Even if someone asks me to go and to give my perspective on a gun, that's my perspective on it, and I'm gonna give my honest and fair assessment to doing so, whether you allow me to keep the firearm or not. That's just my DNA. That's just the way that I'm made up. But I really enjoyed this, and I've been encouraging people, especially you guys, that you're out there and you're heavily into firearms, but you can't get your wife, your significant other, your boo to go out there with you because they don't want to go out there with all that noise. Why don't you get ahead and get them introduced? Maybe starting with a gun that shot 22 long rifle. Maybe this could be a part of y'all date night. This could be pre-date night. Before y'all go out to eat, get ahead and go to the range. You know you want to go anyway. Why don't you get ahead and get her involved in doing this? And maybe getting her that much more comfortable with firearms in general. But I love the ergonomics in this, the way that it is. A great undercup. It's got like one finger groove to it. The palm swell is perfect where it needs to be. I really enjoy this. I probably don't shoot this enough unless I'm going out with a newbie that's going out to shoot. But when I do, I really have a good time shooting the Taurus TX22. Now, I want to thank you. That's my time. I want to thank you once again for continuing to rock with me. We just yesterday gave our one of our last on our first phases of giveaway. We gave a biometric safe away yesterday on the giveaways. Once again, I'm not endorsed by anybody, but I do believe that blessed people. In the future, we'll be doing more giveaways. You know, I got to get paid first, you know, so I got to do more giveaways. And I want to be able to share that with each and every one of you. I want to go into more of the laws, and as the laws changes and what we need to do to be informed of these laws when we're going out there. We want to be law-abiding citizens that are doing what we need to do to uphold and to make other people who may have some kind of issues with firearms, let them know that they're people who they can respect, that are knowledgeable, and they believe in practice, and they believe in taking their firearms, and they believe in training. They believe that it's not a toy. They believe that it's not a game, but they also enjoy this. So in this Plinking edition, I want you to be able to understand, yes, it's good for self-defense. Yes, it's good for accuracy. Yes, it's good to break in your firearms, but you can actually have a good time. Yes, it's good for competition, but yes, you could just do it to just go blow off some steam and have a good time as well. So on this edition of Bishop's Blast, I want to thank you for always tuning in with me. There's going to be so much more to come in the near future. Once again, I drop one of these every Tuesday around 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm just waiting for you and your friends. Come on, share it, that you will continue to tune in with me so that we'll be able to have a blast together. Thank you once again for tuning in with me. You stay tuned and be blessed.